Hiya, how are you doing? It's me, Galen. Galen's got Parkinson's. Strap in for a long one. I'm going to play a proper version of Dragon Rampant using the fantasy character sheets at the back of the book, the rule book. And I've not messed with them. I've left them as they are. And I've ended up with 26-point armies, because I found it hard to get 24-point armies. For example, the elves have shining armour, which gives them extra points and things. And I mean, some of the units ended up with 5 points. And Goblin archers used 2 weapons. They needed. It ended up with being 5 points, and that really didn't help. So I've ended up with 26 points. I've got the good forces of Gaia on the left, still commanded by Tristol, and I wanted to replace him with the second in command, but I thought he didn't do anything wrong in the last battle. He won it. So it's not like his handicap of losing a dice in shooting and combat has really hampered him. So I've put him in the middle with a group of what they call axe thanes. They're dwarfs, and in front I've got crossbow dwarfs, quarrel thanes. I've got 2 lots of elf archers, and I've got some human scouts who are represented by the Ithilians. On the bad side, we've got mountain orcs and great mountain orcs, and they've got 1 lot with axes and 1 lot with shields. And their commander, Hadzuk, the Bone Shaker, he stood with them, and they can make a shield wall. Now, that's not in the rules. I've added that. And also in the rules, their defence value was poor. And they've got massive great shields. So I've changed that. Only by 1. I've not changed it by a lot, but I have changed that. Got light riders. So last time I called the wolves lesser war beasts, but looking at the definitions and looking at the figures, they're actually better. But in the sort of fantasy army lists, they're defined as light riders. So that's what I've gone for. I've gone for goblin archers. And they've got a group of scouts as well. Now, the scouts at the front of 6 are not miniature figurines. I have a feeling they're Vanguard. I honestly can't remember. All I can remember about the figures that the set's from is that the dwarves all looked very Nordic, Saxony, House Carly type guys. So if that's Vanguard, and comment, let me know. That's what they were. So I've set them up. I've written all my rotas out. I think, having read the rules, I know what I'm talking about. And I've pushed the whole battle back against the wall so that from this magnification, we have the entire battle in front of us. Well, I think I've done all I can. Popeye might say. I've done all I can stand, and I can't stand no more. So, white dice for the Gaians, black dice for Clun. And it's the Gaians. So, again, based on the same principle that I explained last video, I don't want to be stuck against that back fence, that back wall, because if I get forced to retire, I'll lose my troops. So I'm going to advance sort of just across the line. I'm going to go from here. Woohoo! That went well. You know what I'm going to blame that on, don't you? You guessed it. Parkinson's. As in the title, Galen's got Parkinson's. So elves, so I have to look at their move, and it's a 6 to move. So I need a 6, or 2 dice. I got a 5. That's a fail. That's the end of my turn. Passes on to Hadzuk. So Hadzuk is going to send out his scouts a little way. I need a 5. I was all set to tell you lots of stuff about scouts. I got a 4. Okay, I'm going to try again. I'm back here. Nobody's moved. Everyone's staying where they are. Right, that's all right. Elves, again, in the book, they haven't moved 6. But my elves are fleet-footed. My elves are moving 8. So I've changed that. Just because in my sort of vision of an elf is very fast. I don't see him plodding along. So my elves have gone to there. My scouts need a 5. Yeah. Now, what I was going to tell you about scouts, move 8. You can't target scouts if they're more than 12 inches away. And they have all sorts of skills, like evade. You have a rule in this for elves. Pay an extra 3 points on your rota and they can be invisible. I haven't even read what that means. I might do it if I was like Lothlorien elves or something in the forest, but not in this game. The dwarf axe thanes. The axe thanes to move need a 5. There we go. Now I know it's about here. That's all right. And this is where I've put the Lord. These quarrel thanes, and they need 6 to move. 4, so they don't move. Okay. Right, now you're allowed to pre-measure. I read that in the rules, so I know 12 sort of here. So if I move them so they can move a full movement, they're still invisible. So let's 7, yeah. I'm just going to move them a bit. I'm not moving them a lot, move them to there. Then I've got great mountain orcs who can form a shield wall. They move on a 6. Yes, they do. And they move 6. And then go there. The light riders to move need a 5. Yeah, now they can move 12, but I don't really want them to get too close to the elf archers. The goblin archers. Move 5. 5. Now they do move a bit quicker. They move 8. So I'll put some up here. No. And then those lads on the end, great mountain orcs with axes, move on a 6. No, but it don't matter. Well, it does matter. That's the last unit of the turn. So managed to get through a couple of turns there. I haven't got very far. I'm going to look at these elves first. So these elves have a range of 18 inches. And I'm in range of them. So I'm going to shoot. Now, to shoot, I need a 6+ for them to shoot. Yes. So there are 12 of them. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And I look on here and it says they have a hit of 4. So I'm looking at 4+ is a hit. I'll take out all the ones that are not 4s. That leaves them. Now I'll look at the armour value of the Great Orcs in a shield wall. And it is a 3. If it had gone into a shield wall, it would have been a 4, but I didn't think to do that. So every 3, because their armour's 3, that kills a man. That kills a man. And that's irrelevant. You need 3 to defeat the armour value. So that's 2. Okay. But because they've lost casualties, they've now got to do a courage test. Their courage is 4+. So I'll throw 2 dice, add them together. 8. -2 because 2 injuries. 6. There's no other factors. 6 is bigger than 4. 4 is their courage. They are fine. They have to... I wasn't going to do this. Sorry, guys. I'm going to have to look at this. I keep getting, when I think... if you watch the other video, you'll see me go on for hours and hours and hours about what the heck does it mean to be battered. So, missile ranges, I've done all that. Oh, hang on. 12 is hard to hit. 12 dice. -1 to each dice. So, if I make them -1s, that becomes a 3, which isn't good enough. That would be a 4, that would be a 5, that would be a 4. So it's not 2 men, it's 1 man that tests. So they ended up with 5. That's because I am more than 12 inches away. I have to remember that. So, courage tests, when to test courage, blah, 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 blah. How to test courage. Failing a courage test, no, I haven't done that. Right, okay. So, roll 2 dice, add them together. From this, subtract the number of people lost. Add 1 because if your leader's there, well, he is. So I've back up. If you've equalled or bettered your courage score, no effect. If it's lower than your courage score, you fail the test. That's when you're battered. And if it's 0 or worse, you run away. So, okay, so they're not battered or anything. They just took a casualty. I should remember that because it's not hard, is it? So that was these lads. I'm going to... So you can't move and fire. I'm going to measure for these elves. No. It's about 18.25. It's too far. But I am going to move them. And I am not going to move them. That is a blow. That is a blow. So, first thing I do, test anything that's battered or needs to rally. There's nothing. So, what am I going to do? I'm going to... I know they're out of range. They've only got a 12-inch range anyway. Let's move those Great Orcs with the axes. Needing a 6, yeah. So they can now come away from the table edge to there. Right. I mean, we have to move. Don't really have a choice. I know what I'm gonna. No, I don't. Right, the goblins are going to attempt to move 5s. Yeah, and they might as well go whole hog. And the goblins move 8. They need to be within 6. Yeah, so even moving 8's not going to help. Which is going to put them a bit too near. So even if I move the full 8, they're still not going to be able to shoot, and the elves will just rip them apart. I don't want that to happen. The light riders to move a 5. Yeah, they move 12. So it says in the book that elven good armies tend to have a majority of missile weapons. As an experienced wargamer, I have a bad feeling about this, and I've not put terrain on because I wanted you to see it. If I put lots of terrain on, woods and buildings and hills, the people will be out of sight. My camera's rubbish, and I can't hold it anyway because my hand wobbles. So I'd rather show you the rules than have a fancy game, but you know. It's the orcs and goblins definitely need terrain. I heard a wolf howl in the distance, and it was either that or Rolo barking at nothing. I don't know what it was. Let's have a look at the scouts. The scouts go to get around. They need a 5. Oh, there. That might be bad. That might be bad. Right. So. Let us start here. Oh, I did that wolf again. Did you? Okay. So it's 12. 2, 4, 6, 12. It's -1 off every dice because it's more than 12 away. It's at the goblin archers. That's a miss. That's a miss. That's a miss. That's a miss, that's a miss, that's a miss. The difference being that the goblin archer's armour is only 2. So I've killed 3 of them. There they go. Those 3 lads there. Now I test, even if I'm firing them with multiple units, I still test now. So I throw these and add them together. 7. -3 is 4. The goblin archer's courage is 4. So I didn't beat my courage, but I equaled it. But equally, it's all right. So they actually put up with that. Good lads. That was tough, but they did it. Right. I think the crossbows, who are under half, they fire 18, so they're 8 away. So they're under half, so they're going to get full scores. There's 12 of them. 2, 4, 6, 8. Oh, yeah. They need to shoot oral things. 7. If you don't shoot, I lose my turn. That was a bit of a let off. I mean, that's one nice thing. Well, you look at the game, if it was I go, you go, like a lot of games, you wouldn't stand a cat and mouse chance as the goblins. But because of this fails system, it means sometimes that unit, you think, oh wow, they're surrounded by all these archers. But then the enemy archers fail to shoot. If those crossbows had shot, they might have wiped them out. Similarly, you might think, oh, 7's a lot to make them shoot. But it sort of equals up the playing field, and I'd like to think the people who wrote the rules considered that. So, the light riders are going to plough into those crossbows. They need to attack 7+. Yeah. So, in they go. The crossbows have got nothing like evade or skirmish. Because the light riders are considered to have the possibility of bows, and they fire double if they are attacking infantry, so they're going to get 12 shots hitting on 6s. 1. The dwarf quarrel is armour of 2. Phew. So that didn't work. Now, the light riders attack value is what I need now. Their attack value is a 3. So they need 3s to be hitting. So take out everything that's not a 3. Okay. My armour, as we've just discussed, is 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 dead. Oh my word. Oh. Now, I get to fight back. So I fight back with my defence value, and for the quarrelers, that's a 4. So I throw 12 dice, and I need 4s. Take out everything that's not a 4. Now I'm looking at the armour value of the light riders is 3, so I've got 1 of them. So I lost that. But we both test because we both took casualties. Let's do them first. They're not going to have... I'm not even doing the sums. 10 minus 1. They're going to be well over their courage. So let's have a look at the crossbows. 7. Now that might be a problem. Minus 4 is 3. Commanders with 12 within 12. 4. Courage is 4. They're all right. Now, because they didn't break them, they bounced back a couple of inches. Okay. Wasn't as devastating as it might have been. Let's send the scout. The scouts are going to attempt to skirmish. They need a 7. That means they can move and fire. Yeah, so they can move half, which is 4. And they can shoot. I'm going to shoot at those scouts who they can now see because they're within 12. And they fire with 6. They need 7 to shoot. No, they've skirmished. They don't need that. They need 5s to hit. 2. Now the scout's armour is 1. So that kills 2 of them. Ouch. Ouch. Scouts throw for their courage. 5 minus 2 leaves them with 3. General's there. Makes it a 4. Courage is 5. So they failed. They failed, but it's not 0. So they run away a half. Put some back here. First blood to their scouts. I said, didn't I, earlier, I thought they'd had it, the Orc Goblin army. And that one failed turn has let this happen. Having said that, there's not a lot of real damage. Like the elves haven't suffered any damage, and the dwarf axemen haven't suffered any damage. So now, I don't know whether to advance with them. Now I'm going to form a shield wall if I can. So my action is a 6. Yeah, they are going to form a shield wall. Not in the book, but the figures have got massive shields and massive pike. So I'm letting them have that ability, and I haven't charged them for it. So there we go. Now, so that's me. I've nobody battered. I'm just going to get on with the job. So I've got to deal with, I think, the light riders. I'm going to attempt to do that with my dwarf crossbowmen. And they need seven to shoot. Nope. Turn the tide back to them. Well, I'm sending the light riders straight in. Wallop, bang, wallop, baff. They're attacking with a 7. No, they're not. Right. Okay, so this time, because the elves are easier to activate, the elf archers are going to shoot. But they shoot on a 6, not a 7. Oh, you idiots. Back to the Orc and Goblin army. Oh. I'm trying again. Light Riders, 7. 5. Dwarfs, 7. 5. Oh, God. Right, last time. I'm not doing it again after this. 8. Go. Wow. Make me head hurt. So, now, because they've lost one, you might think, well, they throw less dice. They don't. Until they get to less than half, they always throw, because they're fighting infantry, they're going to throw 12 dice. If they lost and got to half, it would drop to 6 dice. But until they get there, that doesn't change. So it's always going to be 12 dice at this point. We know they attack, because that was all that kerfuffle was about. Their attack value is 5s and 6s. Well, I'll tell you what I didn't do. Right, so they've got 4 hits. I'm going to put a 4 there just to remind me to get to throw spears and shoot little short bows, so they need 6s, which gives them another 2. So that gives them 6 hits. 2, 4, 6. And the armour there, I keep saying this, I've said it before, haven't I? Is 2, so that's another 3. Now, I do my courage, throw 2 dice, add them together, 10. Subtract all of the casualties. So those 3, plus the 4 I've already lost, 7. I'm down to 3. The commanders within 12 inches puts them up to 4. Their courage is 4. They've survived. Again, they pop back there. But They are now 2, 4, 5. They are half strength. Okay. They're sort of shouldering the burden here, them that. Let us move up. Let's move up the Great Mountain Orcs. So these are a 5 to move. No, they're not. Yes, they are. No, they're a 6 to move. Can't see. Oh, God. Fail. Right. Shoot. Elves shooting at those flipping light riders. And they need 6s. Yes, and there's 12 of them. The light riders can evade with a 7. And that's no, they can evade a charge. They can't evade being shot at. And by 4s I'm looking for. So take out everything that's not a 4. 2, 4, 8 hits. The light riders have an armour of 3. So that's 1, 2. 2. They do the courage. 5 minus 3, which is what they've lost in total. 2 plus 1. So they're down to 2. The commander's way over there, so that doesn't help. Their courage is 5. So they've much less than their courage. So they fail. They become battered. Ooh. And I like to show that with a system it's not in the book, but I think you'll see why I do it as it goes along. So this is the first time they've been battered, and that's why I'm doing green for the first time they've been battered. So they're going back 4 because it's half their move. I'm going to move them apart, and they're battered. That was the elves. I am going to the axe Thanes attack on a 6, and I like the sound of that. So they are here, they're going to attack there. Yeah. And what you do is you sort of don't go, oh, middle to middle and all that. You just go, yeah, that's 6, he got him. And even these guys here, who are clearly more than 6 away, are fighting. Once a unit hits, they all fight. So all them are fighting all them. And he's with them. So I throw 12 dice, 2. 12. My attack value, my Thanes, is 4. So I take out everything that's not a 4. And I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 8 hits. 8 hits. Their armour, we've had this discussion recently, is 3. So that's 2 more. Now they fight back. And there are 6 of them. 3 doubled. 2, 4, 6 doubled because they're fighting infantry. Their defence value, which isn't the same as their attack value, is a 5. So they're looking for 5s and 6s. And they've got 3, that's alright. My Axe Thane's armour is 3. So that's 1 of them. Also, because I've lost a person, it could be my commander, because he's in that melee. And the way they do it, rightly or wrongly, whatever you think, if I get a double 1, it's my commander. It's not my commander, it's him. So, I throw 2d6, I add them together, 5, I subtract 4, I've got my commander 5, my courage is 4, so I'm alright. Now, they failed their courage again. Now this is why I put the green on, because what I do now is I'll swap it to yellow, because this is the second time they've failed their courage, and they are now beaten again, and they flee again. Now the rules say at the start of the next turn I've got to test them because they're battered, and if they fail again they withdraw and they lose another figure. I'm going to say, because they've lost again, there's only one of them left anyway, so he doesn't even bother trying to fight. He just turns tail and runs for home. He's had enough and he's gone. So off he scuttles. The elves here. Now they can't target those guys because they're more than 12 away. They can't target them, so they will. They are going to elf archers. You need a 6. Yep. They're going to shoot. And they need poop. I just thought of something that I did wrong. I don't think it makes a difference. 6. They need... Well, oh, hang on, I'll do this first. Because they're more than halfway, they are hitting on force. So they need force. So, but everything is -1 because it's more than halfway. So that's 4. That's 4. That's a 5. That's a 5. That's a 5. That's a 5. That's a 3. That's 3. So I've got 2, 4, 5 hits. And the armour on those lads is 3 plus 1 because of the shield wall. 4. So that's another one gone. Let's take 2 off. Put 1 back. And unless I throw something absolutely appalling, their courage will be fine. But let's just give it a go, see what happens. 11 minus 2 plus 1 for the general. That's not going to make any difference to anybody, is it? Now, the battle's not over, as you can see. But I'm not playing it to its bitter and deadly conclusion. I'm confident, to be honest, that the orc without terrain cannot beat that goblin army with all of its missiles and with its tough dwarf fighters. So I am going to withdraw into the safety of the Orcish mountains. But you know, we've killed a few chaps, and we've had us fight. But we're not fight. The elves. They don't fight. They don't fight like decent people. They don't get up close and fight you proper. They shoot you from miles away. And the orcs and goblins are all grumpy because they want to go in and bash stuff. Feel the they want to smash a bloke's head in with a big bonking bonce cobbler. So it looks like a pound of mince with an ear roll and a helmet on it, but they're not allowed to. Health and safety gone mad. So they're cross. So they've gone home. Anyway, so that actually went better than the previous game. So watch the first game if you want to see how you can play this game really badly. But this was better. But it needs scenery and it needs a scenario. Okay, I hope you're having fun. Ta-ra, Chuck.